It's like, I'm hiding from you. Wait, hold on. Did I just see it? Hey guys, on today's adventure, I'm going to be doing a book review of this really awesome book that I just finished reading. It's called A Wrinkle in Time.
By Madeline Lango.
And now it is a movie. And so my aunt, who is filming, I was like, I'm not doing a book review until you read it, because I didn't want to give any spoilers.
Because I had never read it before either.
No. So I was like, you read it. But what I forgot is that I have the newer copy of it, and she has the older copy of it, so the pictures on the front look completely different. Okay,
so what is A Wrinkle in Time about?
So it is about this kid named Meg. She's right here. And then her little brother, Charles Wallace. And then they run into this stranger, basically, that comes up to their house and is like telling them, come with me. They go into the woods with this stranger. They don't know who this is. I was like, haven't your parents taught you not to go running off with strangers? So in the woods, they ran into this boy that is really popular, and I think he's in 6th grade. And so they went into this hut, and them two were like, what are you doing here? Why are you out in the woods? And the boy said, I got a feeling that I need to come here. And so they both went into this house that's supposed to be haunted, but it's really not. So this is the weird stranger that they went into the woods with. And then this person was in the house, this haunted house. It's pretty complicated. But some sheets, white sheets, had been stolen, and they had been taken to the house in case anybody came up to the house. Somebody would be there acting like a ghost and scare them away. And so they met this girl in here. Her name's Mrs. Who. This is Mrs. Watson. I just thought that was a weird name. And then also that was in the house was Mrs. Witch.
Mrs. Witch, Mrs. Who, and Mrs. Whatsit.
They went and they traveled through time, which is basically what they're doing here, but they didn't tell any of the 3 kids what happened whenever you traveled through time and why you were waiting for a wrinkle in time. So times, basically, they explained this in the book. So this is like dimension, but I thought this would be a good way to explain it. Basically, so they're waiting for the wrinkle, and then where's the wrinkle? They go poop, and they're in that time period, basically. And they landed in this really cold, dark place with this, like...
They're using time to travel in between from planets to planets, right?
Yeah.
So they're using the wrinkle in time to travel. To tesseract is what they say.
The name.
Yeah.
Wrinkle in Time.
It's more like a big ball of wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff.
So they went, but whenever they didn't tell the kids that once you popped up in the wrinkle, then you got like flattened out into 2-dimensional. So then once they got past that planet, they went to this planet where there's this really short woman, basically, and she had this ball, this crystal ball set up, and she was like, Meg asked her, like, they were asking her basically to show them different things. Meg asked if she could show her her father, so she did. And then they showed her Earth, our planet, from what it looked like from their planet. And Earth was really small compared to them because they're in this big planet. Then they went back through
Sure.
the two-dimensional planet.
But what else did they see about Earth? You remember? It was covered in a black thing.
Yeah, the black thing, which is what Mrs. Who, Mrs. What's it, and Mrs. Witch, what they're trying to fight. And so after they went and visited that person, they went here, and this is basically like the black thing behind the name and everything. The black thing. That's where her father is. Yeah, like it's a planet that's covered in. A planet called Cosmo and Earth are covered in this black thing, and they were explaining to her how that's evil and that's not a good thing, and that Mrs. What's-It used to be a star, but they said basically during victory they like did a war, I guess, or something, but during victory it like exploded sort of, and it turned into this black thing, and Mrs. What's-It was one of them, but she turned basically like human, but she can transform. That's what this thing is. They're like flying over the mountains and looking at this thing, and they got a little like rose. He has these vine things of those that they put up to their face so that they can breathe whenever they're going higher and higher, because the higher you go, the less oxygen there is.
Mm-hmm. So did you like the book?
Yes.
What did you particularly like about it?
How Meg and her brother and everything, how they were like, we have to continue going to get to their father, and now they're basically trying to help their mother.
Mm-hmm.
And even though they did leave Earth and their mother had no idea about this, whenever they went back, it was like they hadn't been gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had traveled so fast through this thing, but it was like days that it took them to get to their father. Really, it was just like minutes on Earth.
Right.
Whenever I was reading it, I was like really into this, but at the beginning I was like, I wouldn't like this, because whenever me and Erica tried reading the first chapter, we read the entire first chapter, and I was like, I'm gonna have nightmares from this.
Yes. That was a few years ago,
Yes.
wasn't it?
Yes. But so at the end of it, they ended up going back home, all four of them, and Mrs. What's-It, Mrs. Who, and Mrs. Witch were all there at Earth, and the whole entire family was reunited together. But the weird thing is that the twins and the mom was like, oh, your father's back. They were like, wow, your father's back.
Yeah, they had no idea what happened, did they?
Yeah, and so Meg and them all told them everything, and they were like, wow, you went and time traveled, because her mom had been trying to get back her dad, which they had no idea where her dad was. Well, they sort of did, but the mom wouldn't explain too much because she always would cry whenever they would talk about it. Well, guys, if you like this video, make sure you give us a big thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel so you can have more book review fun. Click the bell next to it so you can never miss a video, and turn on notifications. See you next time on Adventures with A and P. Bye!